In a world completely obsessed with what we can see, one man built an entire empire without seeing anything at all. This is the extraordinary and told story of Chukwudi Okeke, a name that would echo through generations as the Blind Billionaire. Journey with us from the bustling streets of Lagos, through the quiet determination of a small village, to the boardrooms of global corporations. And discover how a boy born into darkness became a beacon of light for millions. His story begins not in a boardroom, but in a humble rural village. Born completely blind, the baby boy, then known as Obinna, was given a bleak prognosis by doctors. They told his parents, Ifeanyi and Ngozi, that their son would never live a normal life, that he would be forever dependent, forever in the shadows. But his mother, Ngozi, refused to accept this fate. Holding her tiny son close, she whispered a promise that would define his entire existence. "You will not need eyes to shine, my son." This wasn't just a mother's comfort, it was a prophecy. While other children chased balls and saw the colors of the sunset, Obinna experienced the world in a profoundly different way. He learned to see not with his eyes, but with his other senses. The gentle patter of rain on the roof wasn't just a sound, it became his personal map, each drop a landmark in his mind. The rhythm and weight of footsteps down a dusty path told him more than words ever could. He learned to read emotions, to sense joy, sorrow, or urgency in the gait of others. And in the moments of complete silence, when the world held its breath, Obinna found his greatest teacher. Silence taught him truth, helping him filter out the noise and focus on what truly mattered. His world was a symphony of sounds, textures, and feelings, richer and more detailed than what sight alone could ever offer. This unique perception didn't go unnoticed. One day, in a small, underfunded classroom, a teacher named Kemdalam saw the spark of genius in the quiet boy. He watched Obinna navigate his surroundings with an almost supernatural awareness. Kemdalam pulled him aside and said something that would unlock his potential. "You don't see with your eyes, Obinna. You see with your mind. Your mind is your greatest asset." These words ignited a fire within the young boy. For the first time, he understood that his condition was not a weakness but a unique strength. That realization changed everything. By the time he was a teenager, Obinna, now going by his given name Chukwudi, had discovered the world of computers. Armed with an old, clunky machine equipped with rudimentary audio tools, he began to code. He didn't see the lines of text on the screen, he heard them. He navigated complex programming languages entirely through sound, his fingers flying across the keyboard with a precision that baffled those who watched him. At just 17 years old, using nothing but his hearing and his brilliant mind, Chukwudi built his first piece of software, a revolutionary navigation tool designed specifically for the visually impaired. It was intuitive, it was effective, and it was born from a genuine need he understood better than anyone. The app, initially a small project, exploded. It went viral first within the visually impaired community, then spreading like wildfire as a testament to human ingenuity. News headlines celebrated the teenage prodigy who had turned his challenge into a solution for millions. People around the world began using his software, their lives transformed by the freedom and independence it provided. Before he even turned 20, Chukwudi Okeke sold his first company for a life-changing sum. But this was not the end of his story, it was merely the beginning of his rise. The blind boy from a small village was now on a trajectory to change the world. With the capital from his first success, Chukwudi didn't rest. He co-founded a new venture with his childhood best friend, Chima Nwosu. Chima was his eyes in the sighted world, but Chukwudi was the visionary, the one who saw opportunities where others saw only obstacles. Together, they were an unstoppable force. They didn't just build one company, they built an empire. Their portfolio expanded at a breathtaking pace, spanning technology, logistics, communication, and, most importantly, accessibility devices that continued his original mission. Each new company was built on Chukwudi's core philosophy: identify a human need and use technology to solve it in the most elegant way possible. But the path to the top is never smooth. His rapid ascent attracted envy and skepticism. Powerful competitors, like the ruthless CEO Kelechioma, saw him as a threat and launched campaigns to undermine his businesses, spreading rumors and attempting to poach his top talent. Even potential investors were openly dismissive. At a critical meeting, a prominent venture capitalist named Okechukwu laughed in his face. "How can a blind man lead a global company?" he scoffed, his voice dripping with condescension. And flustered, Chukwudi's reply was calm, quiet, and cut through the tension in the room like a knife. "I don't need eyes to see possibilities," he said. That single sentence silenced the doubters and became his legendary mantra. He didn't see spreadsheets and market trends, he saw human potential and the future of innovation. Then, disaster struck. The global financial markets crashed. It was a brutal, indiscriminate storm that wiped out fortunes and brought giants to their knees. Chukwudi's empire was hit hard. Stock prices plummeted, factories ground to a halt, and investors, including many who had once praised his vision, ran for the exits. The media, which had once celebrated his rise, now circled like vultures, predicting the spectacular fall of the blind billionaire. His employees panicked, his board was in disarray, and everyone thought his incredible journey had come to a bitter end. His rivals, like Kelechi, watched with glee, certain his empire would crumble to dust. But in the heart of the storm, Chukwudi Okeke remained an island of calm. While everyone else was reacting to the visual chaos of crashing stock tickers and panicked news reports, he did what he had always done. He closed himself off in a quiet room, sat in the darkness that was his constant companion, and simply listened. He didn't listen to the noise of the market crash or the whispers of his doubters. He listened to the deeper currents of society. He listened to the needs of the people who were now jobless, scared, and uncertain. He heard the demand for more affordable communication, for more efficient logistics to deliver essential goods, for new kinds of work in a changing world. While others saw a crisis, Chukwudi heard an opportunity to serve. And with that insight, he began to rebuild. He restructured, he innovated, and he pivoted his companies not just to survive, but to thrive by addressing the fundamental needs the crisis had laid bare. His empire didn't just recover, it emerged stronger, more resilient, and more purposeful than ever before. Chukwudi Okeke could have taken his immense wealth and retreated into a private, comfortable world. But he chose a different path. Instead of hiding his success, he used it as a platform to uplift millions. His personal fortune was poured back into society, creating a legacy far more valuable than any stock portfolio. He established the Okeke Foundation, which funded state-of-the-art schools for visually impaired students across Africa, giving them the same tools and opportunities he had fought so hard for. His labs continued to produce groundbreaking accessibility technologies, many of which were given away for free. He changed laws, he changed perceptions, and most importantly, he changed the lives of countless people with disabilities who had been told, just like he was, that their lives would be limited. One afternoon, visiting one of his schools, a young blind girl named Chidera approached him. She was holding a small device his company had developed, one that helped her read books. She reached out and gently touched his hand, her face beaming with a joy that needed no sight to be seen. "Your invention," she said, her voice filled with emotion, "it gave me my life back." In that moment, surrounded by the sounds of children learning and laughing, Chukwudi knew he had fulfilled his mother's prophecy. He was shining, and his light was illuminating the world. Standing in the warm sunlight, a gentle smile on his face, he was no longer just a billionaire. He was a symbol of hope. Chukwudi Okeke proved to the world that blindness is not a limitation, it is simply a different, and sometimes more profound, way of seeing. Success isn't about what you can see with your eyes. It's about what you believe in your heart. It's about the vision you hold in your mind. And as the story of the blind billionaire shows us, sometimes the brightest, most powerful vision comes from those who live in darkness. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the incredible power of the human spirit.